Time for the Discord announcement. Going live. Yeah, let me just move myself here. I was previously recording for a course, a retopology course, and for that I keep myself in the outliner. When I'm streaming, I just make this little section for myself in the image editor where I just place myself. Yeah, let's continue with our Wolverine model. And so far we've done a lot to this, but still we have to work on the boots, on the veins. Yeah, we have to work the veins. We have to add the claws. The claws is not going to be difficult, just simple cubes. We have to add these dog tags, the cigarette, the wrinkles on the face. There's still a lot of stuff to do. But yeah, when I started this sculpt, this is what it looked like. Let's go back. How was this looking? The first day. Yeah, no, not this. Even behind. Where was the? Yeah, here. This is where we started, and this is how all of these sculpts look initially. They look bad. Okay, and it's just about how much do you trust the process. It's just about focusing on one step at a time. Keep going, because that is how you deal with anything at all. A while back it looked like this. I did this stylized pass, and you can see this looks really symmetrical. Back then I was thinking, how can I adjust the pose, how can I do that? But one step at a time, and things, they work out. Hey, yeah, Shizuma, how are you? Always the first person to show up on stream. I really appreciate you. How's it going? Yeah, what should we focus on? I think we should complete the boots. We don't see them boots here, but in the previous stream we did a vote, and you guys said that I should sculpt this boot. And as a matter of fact, this was really coincidental and really fun that the shoe says Wolverine. Yeah, it was just a fun little Easter egg. Hey, I'm doing really good, and you? Of course, full support you deserve. Thank you. I appreciate you. Okay, let's work on the boots. And yeah, I don't have a lot of experience sculpting clothes, so this is something that which is new for me. I mean, we can model the boot, but I don't want to do that. I'm not really good at modeling when it comes to Blender. I've always used Maya, and yeah, Blender modeling it, I'm not the best person. So just gonna trace out the sole of the shoe. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. What's the worst that can happen? It will suck, right? That's the worst that can happen. It's not a big reason enough for us to not try this. The worst that can happen is that it'll suck. And I used to be afraid of this worst scenario of sucking at something a lot. I mean, the first time I ever sculpted a character was 6-7 years ago. Yeah, I didn't pursue this because what I sculpted back then, it sucked. And I didn't want to suck. I was a monkey brain back then. I didn't realize that the only way you improve at something is by doing it. You have to suck for a while. It is how it is. There is no shortcut. There is no easier way. You have to suck. The first 110 sculpts, whatever, they're going to suck. They will suck. So the sooner you suck them up, the sooner you'll improve. And thank you so much for your reply on Discord. Of course, of course, of course. Why not? I see you working hard, and yeah, I loved your version of Wolverine. Oh, by the way, did you sculpt the back? I'm not sure if you and Kasim did. Oh, it's not a part of the challenge, of course, but I'm just curious to see how far do you go when you're sculpting something? Because I had to sculpt the back because I will be, what do you say? I will be making a 360 video of this. I will be making some renders. I wanted to have the back. Yeah, the tip of the shoe is a bit risen in the reference. Yeah, right here. See, it's a bit off the ground. On this side, we have to bring this entire section up. Oh, the sole gets wider as it goes back. Yeah, absolutely not as worked as the front, but I did the back in the standard way. Yeah, I admire that. I think if I was you and if I was doing a challenge, just the challenge, I would have skipped the back. Yeah, it would have looked good on the front, but if we turned it around, there would be nothing. Simple plain. Being completely honest, I recently, only recently, have I started going the extra mile for my projects. Otherwise, I just do the bare minimum. And I think going the extra mile is what will always separate you. Yeah, that is something I've started to implement recently. And yeah, big credit of that goes to Aryan and his community. Since I started learning about portfolio, yeah, bro, you have to do the extra mile. You have to go the extra mile. Otherwise, there's no difference. There's no way you can cut through the noise. I wanted to do a bit of anatomy, so I did it anyway. Yeah, of course, it's always good practice. Why not? Hello, brother. Love from India. Oh my god, bro. So much love from India. Yes, I love you too, brother. How do I copy these hearts? Yeah, Indians are our neighbors. I love you too, brother. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. And yeah, let me return the love. We need to see what we can do here. Let's go up the subdivisions. But I rushed a bit too much my model. When I'm focused on a project, I find it hard to do something else at the same time. But the weekly was too tempting to do. Yeah, I'm glad you participated as well. Otherwise, we wouldn't have witnessed your take to it. I really I loved the your takes on the challenge this week. And I think, yeah, we will stick to more difficult challenge in the premium version because I want them to be a bit challenging. We're the big boys now. Yeah, later we also have to add the stitches to the boots. It is gonna be a long process working on them. For now, I just want to block out the main forms, main shapes. Yeah, I think we should wait for a higher poly count to work on these details. They're not looking really good as of now. Clockwork is definitely the most underestimated aspect, but the most important. 100%, I agree. People rush into getting into details so early. It's absurd. I mean, blockout is the foundation of your sculpt. If it sucks, no matter what you put on it, it is gonna suck. Like if you have poop and you decorate poop with flowers, because the base is poop, it is gonna be poop. No matter how much love you give to it, how much attention you give to it, how much time you invest in it. If the base sucks, the base sucks. Yeah, and a good example that I think Nikolai gave me inside the community, it was that if you build house on quicksand, yeah, it is bound to collapse eventually. Bro, I need your suggestion and guidance from a professional person just like you. So can you give me, please? Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know what qualifies as a professional. Yeah, I really don't. Because previously I've been working in mobile game, low poly assets and everything. Sculpting is something new for me. I don't know when will I qualify as a professional in sculpting. Is it when I find work? Is it when I get a job? How do we define a pro? Haha, the image was so funny. Yeah, the poop, the poop image, right? Yeah, people need better visual representations to understand a concept. I'm not sure how we will be making these creases in the boots. I think I'll just crease them in. See what do we have here. Okay, this goes. Yeah, I'm not sure how to sculpt boots, so this is pretty new for me as well. But it is what it is, and we have to do it. Oh, Alex, I remember you sculpted some sneakers for the anime girl, right? How did you make these markings? Did you crease them in? Did you pull them out? What was your process? Also, I know you use ZBrush, so maybe it has some tools that make it easier. A lot of you are switching to ZBrush, which is surprising. Kasim switched to ZBrush. Eugene is switching to ZBrush. Creasing works. Let's just tighten things up. Now we'll have to add the stitches and the seams, but that is something for later. At the beginning, I did a sketch quite exactly. Then I masked and extracted each part. I remesh while cleaning the. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, masking makes sense. Yeah, masking is something I should have gone with as well, but too late for that. Yeah, I think the sole on the front should be a bit slimmer. So just pulling this up. This looks much better now. एकदम रॉपचिक shit है boss. Shukriya, shukriya. I need Air Force Ones on this boy. Black Air Force Ones. I don't know which shoes are. Let me just do a quick search. Air Force One. Black Air Force One. Yeah, these would have been really cool shoes, but boots suit Wolverine better. We did a poll in the last stream, and that is where we decided that okay, we're gonna sculpt these Wolverine shoes. I appreciate the feedback. Thank you. Oh, solid. I have completed my 3D artist course last month, but I am not getting any job offers. I want to move ahead in freelancing, but connections are not good. I want to improve my sculpting, but I am not getting deep knowledge for free. So, what should I do next? If you're not getting deep knowledge for free, you should invest because that is how you learn anything. People put a lot of time and effort into their product, into their courses, whatever, and it's not actually a lot of money that they ask. If you look at any art degree, it costs more than what an industry professional is charging you from his courses. I mean, if you look at Jay Hill, I think his course is around, I'm not sure what the price point is, but it's definitely not a limb and an arm. And it is way cheaper than getting a degree. He's an industry professionalist. He's teaching you the proper workflow of the entire pipeline of making a character for games. And yeah, you don't get that information from a degree or any course whatsoever. I have an art degree myself. I have a degree in 3D animation and design. And everything that you're seeing right now is all self-taught. I have learned this on my own. My degree did not teach me this. I just believe that education is a scam. And to get good education, you should definitely invest. Look into people who have done the same thing and invest in coaching, invest in mentorships. A lot of people, a lot of the industry professionals, they have mentorships, they have coaching, and that is something that you should invest in. I mean, you said that you completed your 3D artist course last month. It cost some money, didn't it? It wasn't free. Then why do you feel shy when you want to invest in someone who's teaching online? Those people are industry professionalists and they have more experience. They can teach you more than what your course ever did. And for me personally, I have not worked in office a lot. I mean, for me, the job that I had was a remote job. It was for a Korean mobile game company, and I found him through Upwork. And the reality of Upwork is you need a very strong profile. You need a very strong portfolio. So just imagine that you imagine yourself in place of a client or in place of someone who wants to get 3D services. He's going to go for the best of the best. And if your portfolio does not reflect that you are the best in whatever he's getting, then he's not going to hire you. So the best thing is just go online, look at people who are successful in whatever you want to do, and copy what they are doing. See what they have on their portfolio. Add it to your portfolio. That is how you get ahead. I mean, so many people, they just make random artworks, post it online, and then they wonder, okay, why am I not getting any job? Because you're not posting what the client wants. You're not posting what the companies are looking for. Why look like Gangplank from League of Legends? No idea who that is, bro. Body log, big government. I know the price of courses and respect them too, but right now I don't have enough money to buy courses or collect money from somewhere. Lack of money has become my biggest problem. I cannot really comment on that, bro, because I am not aware of your financial situation. But what I am aware of is most of the time, it's never a money issue, it's a priority issue. People spend money on other stuff which they don't care about. For example, I know people who spend money on video games, on the latest tech, on getting a new phone, but whenever it comes on a course, they don't want to buy. I was the same. So I always had money to buy video games, but I never had money to buy a course. I don't think it's usually it's a money problem. Sometimes there is also a priority problem. And yeah, your financial situation, that is something that you know of better. But I believe that if you were able to afford a course of 3D artists, then you can afford a course. I mean, they don't cost a lot. You can get courses for as low as $20, $30. Good courses can cost around $100. Uh, just being honest, bro. No offense to you, but that is the reality. Would you take commission for Rule 34? Nope. Nope. No NSFW work. East and West is Hawks Cup and visual. Thank you, bro. You know, that was my password for a very long time. East or West, I am the best. Yeah, back when I was still a child. Okay, now is the time for the laces. Yeah, later we can do the stitches and everything. Okay, let me just put some holes as of now. And then later we can add the rings. Just placing holes so I know where to attach the laces. Yeah, once we have the laces, of course, we can later add a torus to make the ring of the shoe. It's not a problem at all. The roots wale din. What does that mean? पाकिस्तान में बहुत काम मिलते हैं आर्टिस्ट ऐसे अच्छे. Bro, that is because, yeah, you won't find good artists in Pakistan. That is because the industries, they don't teach artists anything. They only teach them how much is required from their job. And there is no proper education, no proper training for a 3D artist over here. I myself had to get education. I had to go abroad in order to pursue this because there was literally no education on this, no training on this. And the rest I had to teach myself through YouTube, through courses. You have to dig these part in a bit more. Bro, meat riding like crazy. What does that mean? मैंने यूट्यूब पे बहुत पर कुछ ही पाकिस्तानी आर्टिस्ट बेस्ट देखे हैं, जैसे कि स्कल्पटिंग में आप, बेसिक में नाफे 3D, और थोड़ा लार्ज स्केल इन्वायरमेंट या फिर रियलिज्म में वर्चुअल इफेक्ट स्टूडियोज। इसके अलावा बाकी सब इंडियन एंड इंग्लिश बेस्ट हैं। बेस्ट क्या ब्रो, है ही नहीं है ही बहुत कम। नाफे का मैंने कोर्स देखा था यूडेमी पे, उसके बाद कुछ कंटेंट उसका देखा था यूट्यूब पे, लेकिन मेरी फील्ड से बहुत हटके था, तो फिर मैं ज़्यादा देख नहीं पाया उसका कंटेंट। लेकिन हाँ, बहुत कम आर्टिस्ट हैं पाकिस्तानी, और जो हैं वो बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं। I don't have money to buy games or eat or drink or not roam around. I had invested all my money and time in my courses so that I could become my income source. But this plan was not successful. Bro, personally, I just feel that if you pursue something with the goal of making it an income source, you tend to make some silly decisions, and it doesn't really work, because making money as an artist, it is already pretty difficult. I mean, finding work as an artist, it is difficult. It is a very difficult task. I'm not gonna lie. Especially with the amount of competition and the situation of the market nowadays, it is extremely difficult. You have to be extremely good in what you are doing. And the way a lot of artists are making money now is through being a creator. So if you look at any experienced artist or any artist in general, they are making money through content creation. They have their own products. They're just making money through content. Any art creator you look at, even if it's Blender Guru. If you look at Blender Guru, he has his own website. He has his own product. If you look at Speedchar, he has his own courses. He doesn't work. If you look at any other creator online, they are making money through content creation. And that is because the market sucks. And yeah, that is the reality of this. If you want to make living as an artist, you have very limited options. Either you freelance, but for freelancing, you need to be really good at what you do. Same thing goes if you want to have a job. If you want a job as a 3D artist, you still again need to be extremely good in what you do. You need to be aware of a lot of softwares. It cannot be just Blender. It should be the industry standard softwares. And if you want to be a content creator, I think that is the easiest path, but it takes the longest. Yeah, this is some weird shoelace design, and it is not my fault. That is how the reference is. I think we have a mirror modifier on this. Yes, we do have, but we disabled it in viewport. Just a sec, guys. Yeah, sorry for the interruption. It was my little niece, and she wanted to tell me a story about a cat or something. Yeah, they moved to UK. They don't live in Pakistan anymore. She just wanted to tell me a story about a cat that came to a backyard. Yes, I cannot ignore family. Yeah, I think we can stop with the boots here. Can you check out my ArtStation portfolio, please? If yes, I'll share a link. Yeah, sure. Why not? Share it away. But just being honest, I'm not a professional or super experienced in portfolios. I mean, I've been doing freelance on Upwork, and but yeah, I can give you some guidelines. Shoes, they seem a bit too big for his size. This should suffice. Let's give the boots a bit of a color as well. Sculpt color filter. Where's the color filter? Here. Fill. Select this. Oh, let's select the color of the pants. Too dark. Better. Yeah, I think the laces we can texture them. What do you call it? Procedurally later. It's gonna be a Voronoi texture. Let's just give it some color for now. And yeah, while we're at it, let's also add the rings that I talked about. So for that, I need to switch to my mouse because it's going to be really annoying with the tablet. So what we can do is shift, or let me turn on screencast. Yeah, we can press shift, right click right here where we want to place the ring, whatever. Or maybe we can go to the actually this. So yeah, place the 3D cursor here. Let's add a simple torus with how many sides? Very little sides, because it's not gonna be that visible. Okay, not maybe 8. 8 should be fine. Let's rotate this. Let's scale this down, and voila. And yeah, because the ring is gonna be the same material, it is gonna be identical everywhere. I'm just simply going to press Alt D instead of Shift D, because what Alt D does is, let's say I want to change something to this, it will change this as well. If I set a material to this, it will change the material of this as well, which is very useful for our use case. Alt D once again. Alt D once again. Does it also copy the modifiers? No. So I have to apply the modifiers separately. Oh wait, is it because... No. Okay, so yeah, are they all linked? Yes, they are all linked. We can now shift right click here, Alt D, and object snap, where's snap to cursor. No. Object ring, snap to cursor. Yeah. Just a less tedious way of placing objects. By the way, I'm not seeing the link if you've shared it here. Okay, nice. Yeah, let's select all these rings, and we want to duplicate them. Select the boot, last copy modifiers, and boom, we have them here as well. Now later when we're doing a high poly pass, a high detail pass, I will add all of these seams, all of these stitches. It's gonna be a lot of work. Maybe some leather texture as well, but we don't need it as of now. Looking at the pose, I think we can switch some things up. The face could be a bit more down like this. A bit tilted as well. Yeah, this looks alright. And the eyes. Let's rotate the eyes a bit. Okay, nice. Yeah, what else do we have to do? We have to do the dog tags. We have to do the hair. High poly pass here. I think we can start adding the veins. Let me just save a backup file for this. Today's day 8. Let me save it as a separate file. The object has non-uniform scale. This object. Okay, let's apply the transform. Now let's work on adding the veins. I think we can add a bit more geometry or finer details. Yeah, this should suffice. Okay, Shift S for stabilize stroke. Yeah, I want to turn on the radius filter as well, just so that I can add finer veins. This is why you should always sculpt with a tablet. I don't know how some people make artworks without a tablet. It's difficult as it is already. I think I can branch this out, although it is not in the reference, but this will look cool if I branch this out as well. Let's see what we have here. Let's turn on off the stabilize stroke and add some manually. Should we add some to his chest? Maybe yes, why not? Oh, by the way, the Hugh Jackman version, right? Yeah, he has veins on his chest. It was crazy, bro. Oh yeah, we still have to add the nipples. So let's do that. And yeah, the nipples should be placed very carefully. Because yeah, if they are not placed correctly, the whole model will fall apart. Okay, nipples here look weird. Here look better. Let's see what we can do. I think about here should be nice. Why is it not reflecting here? Oh, it is. But it is super small. Let's try again. Yeah, this is better. But it should be a bit more towards the center. About here. Okay. Yeah, this looks fine. Let's add a bit of a color to the nipples. It's not a darker tint, it's just a more saturated tint. I mean, what I'm seeing in the reference. All right, now we're talking. Yeah, the head, not so happy with the position. I think I leaned it a bit too forward. And a bit too much like this. This looks fine. Let's add the dog tags. So yeah, for that we need a curve modifier. I'm not the best when it comes to using curve modifier. I honestly don't know how they work. I just press buttons till it just works somehow. So I think I need to reset the world origin first. Let's make what are these? Is this a chain? No, these are spheres. Let's just make a simple sphere. Yeah. Let's add a, oh yeah, we have to make a curve. I think we can use a circle for this. Yes, we can. Why not? Add a... Okay. I need the outliner. Where's the outliner? Yeah, here. Damn, so many stuff. Okay, this circle is, let's name it as bead. And the circle as necklace. No. The circle is here, fine. I'll just confuse myself. Let's select both of them, isolate them. Control A, all transform, and how do we do this? Okay, do I add a curve modifier, right? Select this curve. Why is it not selecting this curve? Oh, because it's a circle. Okay, how do I convert this? Convert. Nope. Convert in the object view. Okay, convert to curve. Now it is a curve. Okay, now I think I just need to add a array modifier. No. Okay, before the curve. Yes, perfect. Let's go. Yeah, the size of the circle needs to be smaller, really, really small, because reference. Yeah, let's shape this around the. Oh, why there's so many vertices? Is there a way to simplify this? A, select uncheckered was, yeah, checker deselect, delete, or dissolve. Yes, dissolve. Let's do that one more time. Select, checker deselect. Why did that not work? Checker deselect. Okay, did not. I think we can manage these many. O for. But this is weird. It should be smooth. Yeah, it is a curve. Okay, let's try making another curve. Curve, do we have circle in a curve? Yes, we do. Outliner again. Bead. And curve, we select the bezier. Okay, now it's starting here, which is weird. Now this is a better control for this. Why cannot I move these? Okay, so apparently this doesn't work with proportional editing. Let's just add the beads first. Where are the beads? I think 100 should be fine. No, 100 is a lot. Yeah, let me clear transform. Why is this stretched? Is the bead I made stretched? No. Then why is it stretching? No idea. But this should be fine considering the size of it. Let me try scaling it down in one axis. Does that work? No. No. SX. Yeah, scaling the x-axis did something. I'm not sure why is this way. Also, it's not conforming with the shape of the what do you call it? The curve. Yeah, I told you. I don't know how this works. Do I press Alt G on this? Oh yes. Okay, so it worked. It was away from the center point or whatever. Where did it go? Bead. Yeah, all that's left, we have to make it similar to the image, to our reference. Where is the image reference? Image editor, image editor. Here. Yeah, see how it is not symmetrical and this is super symmetrical. Perfection is the enemy of 3D. When making realistic sculpts, when making anything realistic, just remember that imperfection is perfection. Nothing in real life is perfect. Nothing in real life has patterns. So it's not a good idea to make everything perfect. How can I move this without moving this? Is there a way to do that? I'm not sure. Is there a setting for this? Yeah, let's Google this quickly. Bezier curve blender control one end. In remote, select the control point at the end you want to manipulate. Handle control. When a control point is selected, its handles are also selected, allowing you to move them independently or change the handle. I think this is for the UV editor, not for this. I think what we can do is add a middle point in between them, subdivide, and control this. But there is a will, there is a way. Let's go back to the bead setting. All right, now we're talking. Yeah, now the dog tags. How to make the dog tags. Let's make a plane. Let's rotate this. And let's move this up. Let's divide this, and select these faces, inset them, and with loop tools, let's press circle, delete them. And yeah, now we need a solidify modifier. And we need a subdivision modifier. All right, looks good, but the hole it's not that big. This looks better. There was some setting here. Yeah, edge data, crease inner, crease outer. Okay, 0.6 here, 0.6 here. Yeah, that looks like a solid dog tag. I want the cursor to be here in the middle of this selection and cursor to active. That should do it. No. How can we do this? Okay, what if I just merge this temporarily? Merge at center and put the cursor here. Okay, this will allow us. Wait. Oh, yeah, I have to change the origin as well. The origin to 3D cursor. Now I can rotate it from here. It is going to make it easier for me to place it here. So put it here, snap to cursor. Boom. I think we can adjust the thickness a bit. This should be fine. Also, I can bring this a bit forward, the curve, so that we have a bit more room for the dog tag. Let's make this hole bigger. I think I can lower this a bit. Yeah, lower this as well. All right, not bad. Yeah, also need to work on the asymmetry here. Damn, this is a lot of stuff. But we will get through one step at a time. before it crashes or something. Yeah, we haven't paid too much attention to the back. And yes, by we, I mean I. Shoulders looked a bit flat. Let's look at a back reference for this. Okay, I still have around 20-ish minutes. I think we can maybe add the claws. Let's do that. Why not? Yeah, with the fists, I'm not super happy how they look. I think they should be fine. Do we have symmetry? No, we don't have symmetry. Let me see if I can move this around a bit. If it doesn't, I won't be giving too much attention to this. So mask. It does look better. Remesh this and try to polish it up. Where's my fist reference? Loading up my fist reference. And boy, we don't have symmetry. So I'll have to do this twice on both sides. Sucks. Which I'm happy I got to try making a fist in this concept. I don't have a lot of experience making fists. And yeah, making the fingers, rotating them, that was gonna be a really long process. So this is satisfactory, I guess. Oh boy, I have to clean it up on the other side as well. Oh, it's not that bad on this side actually. This is why you don't remove symmetry early on in the process. Only once you're happy with the features, once you have a solid block out, then you start to remove symmetry, add these asymmetrical features. Otherwise, you'll have to be doing what I'm doing right now, regretting my choices. All right, let's add the claws now. And I think that will be it for today. Then tomorrow I have to do the hair, have to do the stitches on the pants. And yeah, we still have a lot to do. How many claws does Wolverine have? 3? Wolverine claws. Yeah, 3. Okay, one between each finger. Perfect. I think I need to apply the transform first. And let's inflate this now. Much better. Just like the previous one, let's add, let's move the the origin point here. Object set origin to 3D cursor. Okay. Let's put the 3D cursor here. And let's snap this to the 3D cursor. I think we can add some detail of the skin bulging over here as well. Oh yeah, that would look really badass. Can we copy modifiers from the shoe? Let's try. So it is somewhere near. I think we can just simply apply the modifiers for this. Select all of them. P by loose part. Yeah, we have separate meshes. Set origin center. All right, this is some really good progress we've made today. Let's sculpt a bit here. I think, yeah, we can add a bit of detail from where the spike or the claw is a better word, is bulging out from. You know what? I think we can conclude this here as well. That is what my cherry brain is telling me. But I still want to do the hair. And yeah, we still have to render this, present this. I should add the stitches, but maybe I can do that in texture as well. Yeah, we'll see about that tomorrow. I'm back. Sorry. Hey, welcome back. No worries. This is a really long stream. Yeah, I'm tired as well. But we've definitely made a lot of progress. This is where we started. And though it looks insignificant, this is actually a lot of work. Okay, and yeah, the jump from initial stages to these stages, like for example, the jump from this to where is it? To this was I think an hour or 15 minutes, something like that. But the jump from where did it go? This to day 8 to this. It looks insignificant, but this is, I mean, how long is this stream? This was 1 hour 46 minutes. Yeah, that is why I also tell you that if you're practicing sculpting, the initial stage is the most important because that is where most of your learning is happening. And this stage right here, this is just cosmetic. This is just refining what you've already established. If you're looking for improving, if you're working on the basics, there's no point lighting your characters. There's no point adding details, adding pose, adding cuts, whatever. It's no point. You're wasting your time. So just focus on the initial stages first. Once you get good at them, then by all means present your work, add lights to your scene, do whatever you want, texture it. But yeah, if you still suck at the basics, there's no point jumping steps, there's no point skipping steps. Focus on the basics first. Hell yeah, nice work, Ishaq. Love it, definitely. Thanks so much. Completely agree. So many people, man, so many Jerrys, they just make this mistake. They just skip steps and then they wonder, oh, why is this not working? Because you suck, bro. Your base sucks. Let's add some shadows to this, because why not? Oof. All right, this is starting to look nice. I feel happy about this. I'm very critical of my work, but this one, I'm happy with this. Also, fun fact, I'm talking to a local company, a 3D printing company, and I want to get my prints sculpts 3D printed. I want to see how it works, how they look. I'm just really excited for it. For me, it is essential to understand the importance of the blockout and to understand the shapes. The shapes will define the direction of the sculpt. 100%. 100%. The blockout is really, really important. I mean, just imagine, all right? Let me just quickly sketch something here. Do we have the grease pencil? How do we turn on? Yeah, grease pencil. Annotate. Okay, nice. Okay. For example, even in 2D, when you're sketching a face or when you're making a portrait, you don't directly go and make the eyes and then you directly go and make the mouth, right? And then directly go and make the nose, whatever. You don't do it, ever. What 2D artists do is that they pencil sketch. They make lines, they make gestures, they make whatever, these scratchy lines, and then they try to find, okay, this is where the eye is, or this is where the second eye is gonna be, this is where the nose is gonna be, and then in another pass, let me take another different color, plus, yeah, in another pass, what they do is then they start to define, they find finer shapes with with the bigger shapes that they made initially. Similarly, in sculpting, when you're sculpting, you start with the bigger forms, bigger shapes, which, as Shizuma said, it is the blockout. You start with the bigger forms and then you work your way down into the finer details. That is why I always start low poly and then add geometry as required. I mean, I used to make the mistake too. I used to think, oh, the more geometry I have, the more I can sculpt, the more details I can get. But details are not important. What is important is the basics, is the block out. If that sucks, your sculpt will suck 100% guaranteed 100% of the time. You can get away with bad details and a good foundation, but you can never get away with bad foundation and good details. Good details still worth shit if it's a bad base. If it's a bad foundation, it's no point. You're wasting your time, bro. Ultimately, blockout, as you often say, is the foundation of a sculpt. The parallel is applicable to absolutely everything. If the foundations of a building are bad, the building will collapse. 100%. 100%. It's similar to skipping leg days. So you're bulky on the top, but your foundation is super weak. Yeah, it's the same principle to everything, just like you said. If your organization poor, your productivity will be poor, etc. Yes, it's the universal law. Boom. Applied anywhere you want. It's similar to the 80-20 principle. So the 20% that is going to get you 80% result is the blockout. It is the blockout. 100%. All of this that I'm doing right now, you see, I spent 1 hour and 45 minutes just adding details, and how much of that time contributed towards the sculpt? Very little. And the main change happened when I was blocking out, when I was working initially. It was 1 hour of work, and I went from something like what I showed previously. From this to, oh, I forgot to save. Damn, shit. I added some details. I forgot what it was, and I I just got too excited for this. Yeah, from this to this. Very little time. But from here to here, 1 hour 45 minutes. Damn. Yeah, all right. I'm going to be signing off. It's going to be time to break the fast soon. It's going to be time for iftar. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being here. Everyone who joined. Thank you, Alex, for always being here. It's it's always a pleasure having you around. Let me just add this before I forget. Yeah. Sorry to state the obvious, especially as you are very well informed on the subject, but I made the huge mistake of underestimating the stage a few months ago. So I was berating myself from a few months. Berating, what does berating means? Let me quickly Google. Yes, 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 yes. And yeah, it's no worries. I mean, we should state the obvious more often because, to be honest, we need to be reminded of what we know already more than trying to learn something new. Just a sec. Hello? Yeah, what a weird time to call. It was by some courier company. They were asking for confirmation from for a parcel. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna be leaving now. Goodbye. Take care, and thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Goodbye. Yeah, I was saying we need to be reminded more of what we already know rather than trying to learn something new. Something along this line.